Hello everybody and welcome to another Blue Jay Acres. So today what we're going to do is we're going to share with you, last night we went and we picked up our hog that we had bought off some people that we know. And so we're going to go on and show you exactly what we got from this hog, exactly how much meat we got and what it cost, what we paid for the actual pig and what we paid for the actual processing, and just kind of share that with you. And then after that we'll kind of share what our plans are then for next year. So here is a look at first what we got. Okay guys, so here it is. This is what we actually got, and then we'll talk about the price and what our plans are for next year. So let's start over here. The most important thing, bacon. And we have, how much bacon?
26 packages.
So 26 packages, so there should be 26 pounds of bacon. And then we asked for the jaw to be turned into bacon as well. So we have 6 packs of the jaw. And then the pork chops, we have those all right here. And how many pork chops do we have?
So best count, I think 27 pork chops total.
And then we have 2 hams back here. One, what did they weigh?
So one's 15.6 and the other one's 14.8.
Okay. Then we have 2 racks of ribs here for the grill. I have 4 shoulder roasts. Do we know what those weigh?
I did not weigh those.
Okay, let me get those weights for you real quick. Okay, so these weights are, real quick, in order.
3.3, 3.8, 4.4, and 4.6.
Very good. And then this is the pork tenderloin that she turned into chops. And let me see how many that is. It's around 20 from what I can tell. Some have 2, it looks like, and some have 1. So it's 20 or maybe a little bit more of the tenderloin chops. And then we have 1 pork tenderloin here. Did you get a weight on that one?
I did not.
All right, and then the pork tenderloin, it is 0.8 of a pound, so around a pound. And then we have the sausage here. And how many rolls of sausage do we have?
23.
23 rolls of sausage. And I almost forgot the lard that we got. That was 10 pounds worth, so 2 5-pound buckets. All right, so now you saw what all we got. So here is what we paid. First of all, it was supposed to be a 250-pound pig is what she thought. And since they were used for the fair, I'm assuming that that was the right weight, right?
Right.
When he does the math, he's thinking maybe they were off and it was more like a 225-pound pig. But we're gonna go with what we were told, 250 pounds. So first of all, what we did is we paid $450 for the pig itself. So that is what we actually paid just for them to raise it and all of that. And then you broke it down. So here is what he broke down.
So first numbers are, if it was a 250-pound pig and we paid $450 for it, we paid about $1.80 a pound for a live pig, which is pretty good because looked it up and it's like $2 to $4 a pound for a live pig depending on what you're getting. So that was pretty good. We added up all the weights of everything, and where the numbers get just a tiny bit weird is the fact the lard, they charged for that separate, but it was like,
it was $4 a bucket.
Yeah, $4 for a 5-pound bucket. So
and I'm not sure why they did that, but
tossing all that back in here, but I'm figuring it was about 125 pounds of actual, let's talk pork, not lard. So at 125 pounds, we paid about $1.11 a pound to get that processed, which again, that includes the curing and everything else they needed to do to get that pig processed, from, you know, bringing it in to, you know, vacuum sealing it, which is another positive and probably why $1.11, because $1 a pound is what I've seen is pretty average. But vacuum sealing is going to make it, you know, last, well, We'll eat it faster than the vacuum seal will matter.
Next year we're not doing the place that does that though. Next year we're doing a place with butcher paper.
Yeah, we'll just do butcher paper next year. So anyway, about $1.11 a pound to process it. And then the $8 for the lard on top of that. So all in all, about 135 pounds is what we yielded out of that pig.
So stop for a minute. So what we actually paid the butcher itself was, he's kind of giving you that number.
We paid the butcher about $147.
Okay, so 147. So far we spent the 450 and then the 147.
So $597 total.
That's what we wrote our check for.
Yep. So with that in mind, we got about 135 pounds out of that pig. That is about $4.42 per pound. Now, which we kind of looked, and the average pound when we were pricing things at the store, we're right around that. Some things are less per pound, some things are more per pound. So we think we're right at the average if we had bought that from the store. Yeah, if you don't buy the generic like wall brand, great value type stuff, this right here is on par or actually cheaper than a lot of the stuff per pound average you're gonna get when I went online to look it up. So, but yeah, you know, $4.42 a pound is what we ended up with, so. Sorry I cut you off. You should just look up real quick on your phone and see what is the average price per pork per pound. And see what that says. Per pound. All right, so now we're in the house and he just Googled it. And what does it say? So it says the average price for per pound after processing is between $6 and $7 a pound, with natural smoking an extra $1.49 per pound. And I know we didn't pay the extra $1.49 per pound. So we don't feel like we did bad. Oh no, not at all. But what we do feel like is we expected a whole lot more meat from a 250 pound pig. Yeah, and we were shocked at that. Conceptual. I mean, we were just thinking it was gonna look like a lot more, but the weights, by the way, the average pounds of pork after processing says between 90 and 126 pounds. So if we were in at about 125 pounds plus the 10 pounds of lard, we're right in that range, on the high end of that range. So what we wanna do next year, what we wanna do different, is we want to try to do our own, and we also want to do 2 pigs next year so that we will have double the meat, maybe do it a little bit different. I would do maybe some ham steaks and still keep it at 2 hams, but have the second pig cut up differently so that we just have a bigger variety. And we are going to use a more local butcher. This butcher was about an hour and a half away, but it's the one who our friend uses. So she brought it back to us and everything. We didn't even have to drive. She's a lifesaver. But she said that butcher does cost a little more, and she highly recommends one right around here that is a little bit cheaper, and also does the butcher paper though versus the vacuum sealing. So I'm okay with that. Yeah. And we want to log everything then and see what does it cost to raise our pigs and buying them the feed, whatever we need to do, and then evaluate at the end, right? Is it worth it for us to raise our own? Do we save a lot of money raising our own? Yeah. Or is that something we want to take on or not take on? Answer after we get a couple feeder pigs too. Do we want to do breeding pigs? Do we want to take on pigs? Do we not? Yeah, so I mean, if the way I look at it is, it's more than just the cost of the feed. It's, you know, the cost of the water. It's the cost of that square footage and time out of your day to take care of those pigs that, you know, we talked about maybe doing, they do the pigs, we do the beef, and kind of work something out. You know, we don't know. It's just going to have to see what's going to work out best. I'm not unhappy at all with the way the numbers turned out. I think it's pretty good. I would say biggest thing for me is eye-opening to see what does an average, and I feel we are very average on this one. What does an average pig look like when it's laid out on the table, and see it in volume, and that, because we've never done a whole anything. And we definitely thought that it would be bigger. Yeah, and, absolutely.
But you know, like I said, we'll try 2 next year. And like I said, we'll try it ourselves. See, is it only $100 difference or is it a big difference? You know, and just everything. We will log everything. We're going to keep track of all of this. And then next year when we have ours butchered, we will do a big comparing for you guys.
The big thing we can't put a comparison on right now, and I'm sure you'll hear in other videos, is how does it taste?
Yeah,
What's the
we
quality?
don't know that yet.
Yeah.
In fact, I've got some sitting out though. We're about to do some bacon and eggs this morning.
Yeah.
So we'll share that with you guys tomorrow and let you know how we think about it. And also that was odd to me too though. The bacon is much smaller cut. Like it's like half the size of like a piece of bacon you get at the store. But you know, all in all though, we know exactly where this meat came from. We know the people who grew it. We know how it was grown. And so that is a good peace of mind. And we have a lot of meat in the freezer, which is also another peace of mind. So definitely to us, it's worth it.
Yep.
So, all right guys, that's about it for talking about the pig. So we will see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you.
Bye everybody.